Good evening, my good people. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Bliss Pickup. Listen, y'all already know what time it is. Might get a little juicy in here today. I know y'all like these juicy episodes. But listen, what we got on the deck today? Sully had a good little interview, addressed a lot of things. I shout out to Sully first of all for answering the tough questions and not running from the tough questions, allowing them to be asked. So what we're gonna get into that. He talked Proctor. A lot of people had issues with his weight. He clarified that. Also, the line. Did he just give us the potential starting offensive line for 2026? And then he also talked about the rest of the draft class and his expectations, as well as the free agents, what type they will be bringing in. Also, the expectation for the season. So he talked about a lot. We're gonna get into all that. We're gonna break it down over here. So without further ado, let me bring up my co-host. Hey Lou, what's good, my brother?
Tone, what's good?
Hey man, listen, man. I can't call it, man. How's everything? Hey, first, I know you got a game going on. What's the score right now? That's all I want to know, so I can know what Lou.
I'm glad you just brought that up. The Lightning scored 2 minutes ago. Is 1-1.
Okay, so okay. I'm dealing with Lou. So more even Q. Oh, all right, bet.
Yeah. Salute to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, salute to Tampa Bay. So I can hate off, but I'm salute to them. Hopefully, they get the job done. I know Florida teams that go in the hockey playoff always go to the championship. So I hope they keep the trend going. That's all I'm saying. But
but
listen, man.
One Florida.
But listen, let's get right into it. Ashley, let's get right into it. Boom. Listen, as I said in the intro, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Oh man, I should have had but we'll do it later. As I said in the intro, listen, Sully had a lot to say. Shout out to him for going out doing interviews and at least putting out there his vision for the team. I gotta give him all credit for that. But he did address a few things, and one of the main topics, right, was Proctor. So I got a couple clips, and I want to get obviously your take on this, Lou. But I want you guys in the chat, and I want to see what y'all think about these because it has been a lot of back and forth, and people wondering why they took them. A lot of people didn't agree with it. Obviously, Ruben Bain was there; he did address that as well. But we can skip over that. But so my first clip I want to get into is Proctor and him dealing with his weight issues. Right. So here we go, y'all.
He sat on my couch and we had a lot of conversations, and he didn't hide from any of it. And his conviction on the things that he needs to do to be the best football player that he can be is what rang loud and clear to me on his 30 visit. And it wasn't just a 30 visit. It was the combine time that we spent together. And obviously we had a lot of conversations with people at Alabama who were around him every day. And it was very apparent to us that this kid is prideful. He's competitive. He's about his business. He's a big man. But what people don't understand, he's got 271 pounds of lean muscle mass. He's never going to be little. He's 20 years old, and he, like all of us, at 18 and 19, has learned lessons, and he's turning corners, and he's growing as a young man. He's growing as a professional athlete, and we felt very good about where he is today and where he's going in the future. He doesn't want to go back to that. That was what he indicated to me time and time again, like, hey, I got heavy. I felt it. I wasn't myself athletically, and I'm not ever going back there. And it was, then the people that were around him every day, doubled down on that. And it's people that we trust and are good at what they do. And we felt good about it. You're only as good as the information that you have, but we felt like the talent was rare. We felt like the person was right. And we felt like his work ethic and the things that he needs to do and will continue to need to do will be on point.
So I love. Okay. Lou, my good brother. After hearing that, there was a big issue apparently about his work ethic, his weight, and him being a self-starter. I believe Sully addressed all of that in that one clip right there. He addressed every single, I guess, question that they had. What do you think after hearing that?
Well, I think Sully ain't gonna come out and say anything bad about the 12th overall pick that he selected in the first round. That's what I think.
Mhm.
But again, who am I to say that young man hasn't turned his life around? If that man feels like he's doing enough by, again, listening to what Proctor has said as well about, it was young, to y'all's point, and Sully just alluded to it being 17, 18 years old, kind of, doing that. Since then, even Kaden Proctor himself said he's working out with guys. He has a plan, a regiment that he's been sticking to. Obviously, Sully said the same thing. I can't question it. You see what I'm saying? So listen, hopefully for all of us, Kaden Proctor sticks to his word. As of now, I don't have no reason to not believe he's not going to put in the work until I showed otherwise. And from the Dolphins standpoint, Tone, listening to Sully, they felt very, very comfortable. You heard the man. He said he brought that man into his own house and onto his couch. That's what that man said.
Yep.
So again, whether I like it or anybody else likes it, at the end of the day, this is who the Dolphins chose. I will be behind the kid. And again, now the kid has to prove it. It's just like anything. If I start seeing certain things, will I call it out? Sure. But as of now, I can't call him a liar or the organization a liar. If they felt, and Tone, you heard the word he used, right? Convicted.
There you go.
He used it. So at the end of the day, bro, it's a wait and see approach for me moving forward. I'll hold Kaden Proctor and I'll hold the Dolphins and Sully to their word. Hopefully it works out for all of us.
Yeah, and I would like to add by saying, we already know they're going to say that they're convicted on their pick. Obviously, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. They've been saying this the whole time. They just have to be men in their words and actions speak louder than words. We all know this. But what I would like to say is this is not to justify the pick. Let me just start right there. This isn't to justify the pick. This isn't to say, oh, this is why they was right and everyone else was wrong. No, that's not what this is about. What it is about, and from my point of view, right, is I think we spent a bunch of time, a bunch of hours, minutes talking about what Nick Saban said about the young man, about him not being a self-starter, about him coming in overweight, and that's where we left it. And I remember initially when we was talking about this, I said, well, why y'all leaving out the other part about, him being a hard worker when he get in the building and him also, understanding what it takes to get in shape. And then on top of that, why aren't we talking about that for his freshman year? Nick Saban wasn't there his second and third year. He wasn't, right? And he didn't come back in overweight any other time after that. I think it's what would be it'll be, I'm trying to see what word I'm looking for. It'll be a disjustice to Kaden Proctor for us not to point out that he was 17 years old at the time when he came in overweight. 17. And we're going to hold that against him. But what about when he turned 18 and 19, like Sully said, when he said, yeah, I learned from that, and he didn't like it, and he had to came back in overweight then. Is that mindset? Is that discipline? Being able to understand that and keep that weight off? He's a big dude. Now, he did say 275 for lean muscle mass. I think he means 375, if I'm not mistaken. But he's a big dude. But we need to understand, let's get the full context of what happened. And then you judge from there. Because if he started off, on a bad foot, hey, man, listen, you're not a self-starter. In order to be successful in this profession, you have to do your own and your due diligence off the field. We can't babysit you. We can't be around you 24/7. You have to do it yourself. And after that, 2 years after that, guess what? He's been in shape. He's been doing what he has to do. And I didn't see no one complaining. I think it's very telling that Sully said, not only did he say it, but the people that are around him that said it, which is his coaches and the people that have to deal with it. And he said, you are only good as the information that you have. I think that's a key part, because who's giving this information and how authentic is it? Well, you know how you can find out? When the guy came into camp, did he look like he was out of shape, or did he look like he was in shape? You like he was in shape. So I just wanted to keep the same energy, when we talk about the young man, as far as what happened, and then now what happened after that, what followed. Did he get in line? Did he do what he have to do? Because you have to be a professional. We do not want to take out the have to be a professional part of this profession. Yeah, it's football. Yeah, you get on there. It's supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be fun, but this is also a business as well. So from the business aspect of it, my brother, you need to carry yourself as if this is a professional business and you can handle it. Shout out to you, Steve. Hit the like button. Nene, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I know we didn't get a chance to get into that Cookie Monster. I see you, S. Jackson, JD the Great, Vamos Gatos, Cap for Life. I see you now. Oh, Kelvin here. Kelvin, you got time, huh? G2, like always. Shout out to all y'all, man. I think I seen Keen Mills earlier. You feel me? But Michael K, I seen y'all. Listen, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is y'all first time, and share this content. So yeah, like I was saying, I wanted to point that part out as well, as far as from that one time that he was out of shape, he came back and didn't have a problem ever since. We should not leave that part out, and and it's a 12th overall, your very first draft pick of this regime. Listen, we're going to criticize it. It's going to be a magnifying glass on it, and we're going to point out every flaw and every, I guess, good from him. This is what comes with the territory. So I just think it was good to point that out. Now, he also, Lou, you want to say anything before I had another clip, with the
offensive line? No. We can go to the other clip.
So that was specifically, the part with Kaden Proctor. Now y'all take with that, which I will, and now you have everything, the full story of surrounding him and why they possibly picked him. Now, I ain't gonna lie, the second part that I want to talk about is let's play it. Get a little juicy here,
But short term, because of the two veterans you just mentioned, in Paul and Jackson, is there a chance? I know everybody's going, well, he could be a left guard, he could be the right guard. No, he might go to tackle and move Austin inside. You got an idea what you and your head coach are thinking right now for he'll start at for mini camps?
Yeah, so he'll do a little bit of both, just because we always like to cross train. Whether you're talking about a nickel safety or a guard tackle or a guard center, we like to cross train guys so they line up in different spots. But I think probably day one, I think he's probably lining up at left guard. You know what I mean? And we're going to kind of fortify, and we'll move Jonah to the right side, and off we go.
Wow.
But
wow.
It's moving pieces all the time, and really we want to play with a couple different things to get the best five out there. But I think if you pressed me on it, that's probably what it looks like day one, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah.
I'm like Joe Rose. Wow. So, Lou, would you mind? Can I take this first?
Hey, take off, my guy. Take off.
So listen, because I know. Listen, we have to call a spade, and you know how we do over here. We keep it 1,000. I do remember me, Lou, and other people in the community saying, if you plan on playing him at guard, why not just draft the better guard on the board, which is Vega? I stand on that. Now, I understand why they made this pick, because of the versatility. They keep on saying the versatility. You see how he tried to say it for every position: guard, tackle, guard, center. You understand? Nickel, corner, linebacker, nickel. All this, what he's saying to justify their mindset and their thinking as far as versatility. But if you plan on playing him at guard, listen, he's going to be compared to Vega. I'm sorry. I'm going to compare him to Vega. I understand the versatility. Cool. That is very nice. Fine and dandy. If you move him out there to tackle, he be good at tackle. I say, hey, cool. That's what you drafted him for. You get no corn from me. However, I'm going to judge him as long as he at guard based off what Vega is doing. Because a lot of people can say, oh, well, the scheme and all. No, Vega could do everything. He could do everything. They motioned him. Now, he didn't catch a pass like Proctor did, but I seen him get motion as a receiver. I seen him motion him in the backfield, use him as an H-back and block in space. I seen Vega do all of that. So he had the agility to be able to get out and do some things, and he's not limited to just being a power guy. So if this is what you chose him for because of his versatility, yes, I would prefer to have a versatile player as opposed to a guy that's stuck in one position. But we're not going to devalue a guy that's a master at his position. And I think we cannot say Proctor is a master at either one of his positions, because I'll say this, Lou, and I just want to ask your question. I'll ask everyone in the chat. Look, 29 of y'all in the building, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, right? Help grow the channel. I got a question for you, Lou, and the chat. Who was the number one guard in his draft?
It was Vega.
Without question. I don't think there was a question. Who was the number one tackle? Do you remember?
Without the injuries, it would have probably been Mauagoa from Miami.
Minor. Some people said Spisafanu.
Freeland. Yeah.
I don't know how many people said Proctor, but I know on ours, we didn't have him at the best tackle.
Nobody had Proctor. From where I heard, no one had Proctor as the number one tackle.
So what I'm saying is versatility is cool, but we know without a shadow of a doubt, Vega is the best guard. This guy probably wasn't even the best tackle. Now, he could have been considered the best tackle on the board, but you have Freeland. It's debatable there. There's no debate with Vega. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. We got to call a spade a spade. There is no debate with who was the better guard on there at all. So it's cool to be versatile, but he has to pan out, or it's going to be some high criticism that come with this. I'm just saying skeptical. Now, he said another thing about moving Jonah to the right side, so at least they keeping Proctor on the left side. And I want to get into that part too, but Lou, I want to get your thoughts on where they start in Proctor at beginning of the season before we get into the second part of that.
Well, listen, again, I think you said it best. I would have took Vega because I think we all understood whoever they brought in, especially an O-lineman, it was going to be at guard. For that, just take the guard. I'm not going to just say what everything you said, Tom. I agreed with a lot of that. I got a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
From the standpoint of when Sully was talking there, you believe he was just talking about that's what the lineup looks in training camp day one? Or is that what he believes the offensive line looks like week one of the start of the season?
Training camp day one.
Okay, cool. Because that was based on your answer was gonna change the way I answer.
Okay.
Because I'm just saying, at some point you got to let Hafley coach the team. Tony, remember when we hired these guys, and I forgot what episode it was, but we were both talking. We were like, damn. Every time Hafley says something, he's like, oh, we'll see what Sully wants to do. Or I'll see what Sully wants to do. And now Sully's on Joe Rose talking about, well, gun to my head, I think this is what well, damn, bro, at some point you're not the head coach. Right? And all I'm saying is I'll still answer it in a way, Tone. And again, this is just the way I listen to it. At the end of the day, and it's not a big deal, but I know everybody wants to know everything that happens with the Miami Dolphins song, right? Like, I know that was a big thing. Well, the past regime, they always used to lie to us. They didn't use us to tell us things. Well, that's fair. Sometimes you ain't got to say nothing, though, right? And you can still get your point across. I would have loved, for me at least, for Sully not to answer it the way, like giving out those 5. Because at the end of the day, bro, what did they promise us from day one? Competition.
Mm-hmm.
So just let them boys go out there and compete. Because he didn't mention nothing about Sawyer from the Chargers that we brought in with 1,000 snaps in the NFL at guard. Hell, he could possibly beat up Jonah. He could possibly beat out Jonah and Keldon Proctor. But you didn't leave no chance for that because you basically said, these are your guys. So all I'm saying is, bro, like, I would have liked him to answer that a different way. But as far as my shock tone with Kaden Proctor being named at guard, nah, I'm not. That shouldn't surprise anybody. Again, we knew when they made this pick and they talked about it, they preached about it the entire draft. You know, it's versatility. They chose versatility maybe over some other prospects or whatever. So I don't think it should be a shock to anybody. So it just is what it is.
And I would like to add, well, he actually did mention Sawyer because Joe Rose brought him up a little later in that interview. I didn't cut.
Right.
And he now to even more to your point, right? He called them. We brought him in for depth.
That's
so
crazy
that's even
to me.
To the point. Like it's like
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, right. Like you're saying, well, yo, we brought him in as a depth piece. Because Joe Rose was saying it as if like if he would want to see Sawyer starting at that right guard. Listen to what he said. Wow. When he said Jonah, Joe Rose said, wow. Huh? Like that was, you saw his eyes. He was like, whoa, we wasn't expecting that. We did expect for them to move him to the right side, but to pencil him in like they won a training camp as the starter. No, you told us about competition, my brother. We couldn't that's why I said let's leave the second half separate because now we have to call spades and call people out. Bro, you preach to us competition and people fighting for their positions. That didn't sound like someone had to fight for a position, at least starting the day one training camp.
And what about so Sawyer at guard? What about the guy from Texas you drafted?
The guy from Texas again, right?
What about him? You're basically telling him, hey, you're just coming in for depth, is what you are.
Right.
From day one, you're letting him know. You're letting him know from day one. Regime? They did it in the past. I'm glad you go ahead, Tone. My bad. Go ahead and cook, dog.
We didn't like it in the past regime, so we about to keep the same energy for this regime. No. We're tired of people being handed positions and spots. Now, hopefully, because I did hear Happily say they do have back and forth. Hopefully, Happily say be a man of his word and say, well, when it comes to who's starting, that's on me. Once they get into the building, because Joe Rose did say what your coach is going to do when giving out information, and it sounded like he was answering for the coach. But I would love, I'm so sorry, I would love to hear what Happily have to say, because if Happily echoed those same sentiments, then we were lied to. I'm sorry. We got to call it out. We have been lied to. If you going into that training camp telling me that Jonah is the starting right guard and Proctor is going to start at left guard and you brought in Sawyer for depth. Excuse me, what? I thought we brought people in for competition.
That's what I thought.
See, now, those little things get away with everyone else. But they don't get away over here. We listen attentively over here. That raised the red flag to me. No. I want everyone to earn their position like you both been telling us since y'all got in this building. Now, we did tell y'all saying all the right things, but action speaks louder than words. And the moment that we hear something that's questionable or that raised a red flag, we call it out over here. You see how that worked? We were giving you all the praise when it was sounding good. But that didn't sound good to me. I'm sorry. That did not sound good answering that like that. I cannot let you get away with that. And I will be at these training camps. And I'm promising you, because I'm going to pay attention if they rotate guys as the starters or they just use the same 5 players that take the first team reps. Yeah, I'm going to be paying attention to that for real. So let's just get it. Because last time I checked, there isn't a depth chart before the training camp. Now, day one, cool. I'm not going to kill you that much for saying that. But I'm more like Lou. That should never been, even if that's how you was, because someone got to take the first team reps, right?
Right.
But You don't put that out there. The player should know this. Nothing. The day they should find out is when they go in. Okay, I need you. Line up first team rep. Let's go. And then you go from there. But I'm glad. I just wanted to get that part out, Lou, to say I peep you saying that about naming the starting lineup. And right before I pass it to Lou, right? I just want to, pull one of my good brother moves, right? I learned from my brother, So, you can always learn a thing or two, right?
Toot.
I did tell every last one of y'all that Proctor was going to be at guard. And I said, what I will want them to do, what I think they're going to do, is put him over there with Patrick Paul and play buddy ball. Now, I do like that part. You know what I'm saying? Just the optics of that alone is wild crazy to me. But they have to earn that. I don't want that given to no one. I don't care, 12th overall pick. Earn this. Get in there and work. That's why we bought this competition there, to keep everyone on their toes. But yeah, Lou, that's my spirit, man. What you got to say?
Again, a lot that I agree with, Tone. And I know I seen Dade earlier on echo chamber. When Tony's right, he's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't come out here and disagree just to disagree. But yeah, Tone, that's why I brought it up before I started speaking, because that's the first thing I heard. It's like, damn, bro, you didn't have to say that, because you know what this fan base will do now, Tone. If that's not the case, right? They'll hold his feet to the fire and be like, well, I thought you said this was happening.
Yep.
Right? It makes you look worse, because if Sawyer beats out Jonas Salvanea, well, but that's not what you said. You see what I'm saying? It's just,
yep.
Again, for me, bro, listen, there's no shocking or no shocker that Kaden Proctor, again, is going to be moving the guard. I know you tooted earlier. I won't play it, but I'll toot my own horn. I brought up that Jonas Salvanea, there wasn't going to be a competition for the left guard or for the right guard, because with that guaranteed contract, whether that's their guy or not, it's hard to take that guy off the field. You're paying him regardless. And I did say that. So listen, man, at the end of the day, now, Tone, because I don't want to just regurgitate what you said. I got a question for you, though.
Yeah.
If the offensive line looks like what he said, Paul, Proctor, Brewer, Salvanea, Jackson, is that a good enough offensive line? Or are we going to have to hear this offensive line still ain't ready, it's not good enough, this, that, and the third? Is an offensive line with those names, Tone, good enough for the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, that should be more than good enough.
Okay. All right.
Like,
I just wanted to hear where we stand.
Let's call a spade now, Lou. If Jonah is clearly the weak link here. And then I would say the second one is you have to Proctor. We don't listen. The size it's good, but let's see how you transition to the guard. I like the fact that they're leaving on the left side. He's been on the left side his whole career. Cool. College career, I should say. But we have to see, the guards are still the questions here. But what do we say, Lou? You don't have a perfect off. No one in the league has a perfect 5 top-tier guys on the offensive line. But I'll tell you this, Austin Jackson at his best, when he's healthy, let me not even say at his best. When he's healthy, a top offensive tackle, right tackle. Patrick Paul, we already know what we get from him.
Yep.
All pro center. I seen Patrick Mahomes go to a Super Bowl with 2 terrible guards. Make it work, right? Now, the guards, they may be questionable. I think Proctor is going to transition very well at guard. And I think he's going to be very good at that position. I'm just, saying that. Jonah, this is your second year. If he struggles, Sawyer, you are a starter. And I've seen Sawyer be productive at guard. Actually, at guard and tackle. You understand me? So I don't care what no one says. He said, Lou, 5 best players, not 5 highest paid. I don't care how that looks. You said the 5 best players, and that's what I need to see on the field. But to answer your question straight out, yes, that's good. What do you think? Do you think that's a good enough offensive line?
Oh, absolutely. I think you got a virtually or verge of almost an all-pro left tackle in Patrick Paul. You already have an all-pro center in Aaron Brewer. To your point, I'm higher than Austin Jackson than most. No one, bro, since he's been in the league, Tone, how many times did we have to remind people, I think it was last year, that running game really took off when Austin Jackson was on the field. When he got hurt, that offensive line and that running game struggled. So to your point, Austin Jackson, when he's on the field, there is no issues with Austin Jackson. He is an above average to almost great right tackle in this league. That is a fact. So, and again, I think Kaden Proctor could come in and fill right in. Jonah, to your point, is the weakest link, right? And I see people already like, oh, he's going back to the right side. I don't know if people understand this, Tone. His problem wasn't about being on the left side last year. It's about that anchor.
Yes.
You think that anchor is going to be, he's just going to be a stronger anchor because he's going from to the right side now? Is that what you think?
No.
No, but I'm saying that's what people are saying. They're saying in the chat, that's what they're saying. Like, I don't understand. So a guy on the left side of the field can push him back, but if he goes to the right, a 300-pound D tackle can't push him back? Is that what y'all think? Just because he's on the right side? No, the anchor was his problem. He wasn't strong enough, was his problem. It had nothing to do with the left side or right side. So to your point, Tone, Jonah's the weak link. I'll be honest, bro. I would even be good with those four. It's hard for me to believe and where I'm going is what you said what Sully said was, I'm going to play the best five guys, right? Or the best five guys can play. I'm sorry. If that's the case, it's hard for me to believe that a guy with 1,000 snaps at guard in the NFL is not beating out Jonas Alvenaire. Hell, I'll be honest, Tone. It's hard for me to believe a guy that with 1,000 snaps in the NFL doesn't beat out Kaden Proctor. So, hey, man, do I like the
experience there, bro? Experience.
We're talking about experience. We're talking about, listen, I think Kaden Proctor can be good, Tone. He hasn't really done it, though. Yeah, in high school, cool. There's only been 3 years. I get all that. It's cool. We got a guy with 1,000 snaps in the NFL that has done it.
At this level.
So at that point, again, I understand even if you want to put Proctor out there, it's hard for me to believe, Tone. Now, again, unless Jonas Alvenaire comes and proves me wrong, and you'll be at training camp so you can let all of us know, but it's hard for me to believe that Jonah is going to beat out a guy with that much experience playing the position in the league. It's hard for me to believe, at least, Tone.
That is a fact. And now Steve made a good point that Sawyer best side is the left side as well. That's a good point. However, I would say I think Lou hit it right on the nail. Jonah didn't have a problem with technique. He had a problem with getting pushed back, dropping his anchor. Like, honestly, so putting on weight and getting stronger is the only thing that's going to help him be better from year 1 to year 2. I didn't see a problem. Technique, he was always in the right position. He just couldn't maintain his position. He couldn't move bodies off. And I just think he didn't play with the nasty and the tenacity that I think you need to play with. Now, I would say that it could be a mental thing, overthinking and not just playing. But guess what, Lou? They moved it back to the right side. Excuse is gone. That one excuse that was like, oh, you know the technique, and all. Now it's gone. He should be a top-level guard this year. He should. He most definitely shouldn't be in a bottom-tier guard like he was. He was dead last year, so there's no way to go but up. On that right side, take away any excuse. I like that aspect of it. 35 of y'all in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Subscribe if it's your first time. Now, I would like to say this too as well, Lou. We have to talk about it. Austin Jackson, like, he's getting paid, people. So the same way Lou was like, listen, you guarantee Jonah's contract. By all means, you got to at least give a guy the opportunity to play. he really have to stink it up for you to be like, well, bro, we not even going to consider this. Don't take, for a lot of people that was like, oh, let's move Austin Jackson to guard and things of that nature. Are you paying that man to play right tackle? He has to play. But I would want to throw the scenario out at you now, right? If Austin Jackson get injured, which is a strong possibility, he played 6 games and 8 games respectfully the last 2 seasons. If Austin Jackson get injured, do you think that put Proctor at a disservice by trying to kick him out to right tackle after starting him in at left guard?
Man, a disservice?
Yeah. Because let me let me add a little bit more context. He never played on the right side, ever. He's a predominantly left tackle. Now they put him on the left guard. And I'm talking about speaking of this season only. If you know.
Well, I think that's the plan, Tone. I think again the reason they drafted him was for the versatility. So
that's correct.
But I'm just thinking about your disservice question. I would say no to the disservice because I think that's why they drafted him, right? Because of the versatility. So I would say no to disservice. I think is it fair? Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not fair. Man, this is it's just dog. I listen, man. I don't know. I know one thing for sure. At the end of the day, he's going to play right tackle though. If Austin Jackson get hurt, that we know that for a fact. Unless they bring somebody else in, I know they got that guy Charlie Heck or whatever, the guy they brought in from Tampa Bay. Bro, he's trash. All right, so again, I think the plan is to play him at right tackle. I would say no though. It's not going to probably be fair. And I'll be honest. If people that had the mindset of the reason Jonas Salvanea struggled is because they played him at left guard when he was actually a right guard, well, when he has to go to right tackle, he will struggle then, according to y'all, because he's never done it. He's a predominantly left tackle. So it goes both ways. Y'all need to, again, y'all make these arguments, so don't go backtracking now because you like certain players or like certain general managers. Either way, man, it's going to be bad.
So I see Von Joe say it's fair and it's not a disservice because especially when we draft him as size 12, Lewis. And thank you, Von Joe.
I mean, that's what I said too. I agree.
Because I was going to say, I don't think it's a disservice, and I also don't think it's unfair for him. I don't. 40 of y'all in the building, hit the like and subscribe. Now,
so y'all putting that pressure on him early then.
You want to know why? This is what they preach, right? Versatility.
That is what they preach.
This is what they set him down on that couch. He brought him in his house. This is what is expected of you. Can you handle it? At that point, is it a disservice or is it unfair when you signed up for this? Now, if you're blindsided, that's unfair. If you keep moving back and forth for no reason, that's unfair. But for me to carry on what you have signed up for, I can't say that's unfair. You're not about to go out here and to justify your pick, scream versatility. He could play 4 positions. This is why we were so convicted on him. And then you want me to say it's unfair for you to utilize that versatility you've been preaching to us this whole time? How is that unfair? No, I think that's justified. I think that's what should be expected. He should be expected to go ahead, fill in that right tackle, because that is one of the main reasons we chose you at 12 overall. Now, I keep telling y'all, just because I see the vision from them and I understand why they do it, okay, but there's standards, and you have to be held to it. You gave me a reason. Thank you. I do not kill you for this pick no more. Do I feel like we should have got Vega? Okay, cool. Yes, I still feel like that. But I'm not killing you, and I'm not going to destroy you for this pick. But I am going to hold you to your word. You told me the reason you got him is because he's capable of playing all four. So 12 mean you good at all four, Lou. Am I right or wrong? When you tell me he's versatile, he can play all four.
You right.
It's not up to par. That means 12th overall production level is what you're capable of. So no. See, because I know a lot of people that hear me talking and they be like, oh, but no one said this, and now all of a sudden you think that this is a good pick. I never said it was a good pick. Never said that I would change my stance on who I thought should go there. But what I did say is I understand. And if it's for the versatility, I would rather have a versatile player as opposed to I ain't going to say one trick pony, a person that is a master at one craft. But I need to see the versatility. You're not going to get me to agree for this and then give you some oh, well, I didn't expect him to play right tackle as good as he played guard. Well, then what you telling me about the versatility for? What good is him being versatile if he's not good at the position that he can play? That versatility does nothing for me. I hope that makes sense to a lot of people. So yes, he had to, not only do he have to be able to play those, but he had to be able to play it at a high level. That's why you choose him 12th overall. Because if you don't expect him to play tackle just as well as you expect him to play guard, then you explain to me what the difference between him and Vega. Because the only reason you could justify picking him over Vega is because I could kick him out at tackle and be good with it. Because if you don't expect him to be good at tackle, then I could do the same for Vega. I don't expect him to be good at it. You get my drift? That's why I'm saying no. I don't think it's unfair, or it would be a disjustice for him, or injustice, whatever. What's the point of being a jack of all trades? You're not a master at one spot. That is a good point. So hey, that's my take on that part. I wanted to see, what you thought about it, because I don't want people to get it twisted or people to get confused, because we have a level of understanding why they're doing what they're doing. Okay, yeah, we have a level of understanding, but we preach every time over here accountability, standards. Well, we're going to keep the same energy. Now, Tristan Wirfs, I see Steve brought him up. He was an all-pro on both sides, Lou. All-pro level.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and from day one.
Well, I don't want to hear none of this. No. These are the standards that we holding him to. So I just wanted to clarify that, because I know when people start saying, or you hear us say, well, at least for me, and when I say, well, I'm not killing him for this pick no more. Initially in the first round, I'm not, because I understand the versatility. But that's with the mindset of, well, he has to be good in all these spots that you're telling me he's versatile at. Just for clarity. Yeah, this is not the flip-flop what we're doing. No, this is understanding. I still stand on principles. No. You don't get a pass. You just got to show me, okay, well, that's worth it. You prove to me a versatile player. That's what he is. I think it's worth it. I could agree with that. It just had to be good value. Now, Lou, I would like to ask now, also in that interview, and shout out again to Sully for doing these interviews so we could get an understanding of things. And obviously, content creators, yeah, we love it. What do you think about what he was talking about when it came to the rest? Like, he said about Lewis. I'm sorry, I said Young. Oh, sorry. He said about Lewis that he's basically going to play big nickel. Right? Now, remember, we had some concerns about why he only brought in one cornerback and one safety. Well, I think if you play a big nickel, technically, that's a nickel cornerback and a safety.
That's your safety. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that? Do that change your outlook as far as us not bringing in technically we didn't bring in a safety until what, round 7? The guy in Texas?
No, that's a UDFA. Lewis Moore.
No.
Yeah, the safety at it. Oh, you talking about
Texas.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, Taft. Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael Taft.
Yeah, you talking about Taft. Well, I completely forgot about Taft, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think about?
Okay. No, I think again, I think that's what their vision is to have, Kyle Lewis play, and I like it, by the way. I think he can do both. So here goes again the word tone, that versatility, right? So I think he can do both. Now, would I still would have liked them to add a real safety on top of that? Yeah, outside of Laffy Taffy, I would have. But I mean, Tone, what you want me to call the man? I mean, I'll never be able to hear that outside of Laffy Taffy, for real. And I seen a picture, by the way. He's a dwarf standing next to Arch Manning. So
I saw that as well. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you think he's running up on Josh Allen, you lost your mind. If you think he's running up on Derrick Henry, you lost your mind. But hey, man, listen. Do I like the idea and do I like the versatility of Kyle Lewis and the way I think Hafley and especially the way Sully, talked about him, the way they're going to deploy him in certain defenses and stuff? I do like that, Tone. I'm not going to, again, I only talk about the things that I don't like. I'm not going to just lie because maybe I'm against these guys or whatever. I'm not going to take away the fact that where you drafted Kyle Lewis, and again, this is why you drafted him. 4 nickel, 4 safety, 4 linebacker. He could do a multiple of things, right? So that just, when you got a player like that on the field, Tone, as a coach, it only helps you because you can keep certain players in there but change the scheme and what you're trying to do. So from that versatility and the way it sounds like they're going to use them, I do like it, Tone. I don't know how you feel about it, but the way listening to Sully and the way they kind of talked about the versatility and how they plan on using them, yeah, I like it.
And I do too. I like the fact that, have you watched him? I'll tell you one thing. The most difficult thing to do as a defensive player and a defender is to win one-on-one reps. And if you're going to tell me you watched him and Rodriguez win those one-on-one reps, rep after rep after rep, and wasn't impressed, then I'm sorry. And he showed his versatility. He covers like he's a DB, and he plays like he's a linebacker. Now, he has voiced that he wants to be a linebacker. He had voiced this. So I think that big nickel, you're still in the box. You're still around all the chaos, around the line of scrimmage. You're just like a linebacker. You got a different name on it. That's all it is to it. So I really, really, really like the prospect of him playing in that role. And now, Lou, I would say this. It seems like all of these guys are going to get an opportunity to play from day one and be able to prove themselves from day one. So we're going to get a good look at, how this draft class is going to pan out, or at least how they looking from, the start of things, and see if there are things that we like or dislike. J-Rock, I really appreciate you guys because y'all have your own opinions and stand on them. Y'all ain't like other fans who just go along with whatever the team do. I would really appreciate you for saying that.
That is a fact. I appreciate that as well.
This is that is one of the reasons. That's have to be the main reason I think I can speak for my brother, saying when I approached him about starting this channel, it's because we wanted to be able to give content to fans that wants to hear the God honest truth, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And we come over here, and if our takes are incorrect, we can stand on it. Or if our takes is outside of the norm or different from everyone else, and we seem like the outsiders looking in, okay, we can stand on that because we believe in what we're saying. And half of the time, we come out when we was, telling the people the things that was going down, we've been proven right. Now, we might not have as many followers as the rest of them, but we working on it, getting there. But a lot of things, y'all could come back and say, well, y'all said this. And we were like, well, yeah, we said that. You understand? We did say going into the season, we thought they were going to go 8-9, 9-8 at best, right? They turned around to be 7-10. Just giving our honest assessment of the teams, right? So thank you. Appreciate you that. I'm going to appreciate that, my brother. And hit the like and hit the subscribe. Now, again, when it comes down to the versatility of these plays, he spoke of Chris Johnson as well, saying, well, how he can play inside, he can play outside, and he can play all three levels. When he said all three levels, line of scrimmage, intermediate, deep, he's good at all of those. Now, the competition is a little different, right? Steve, I see you trying to be messy, my brother. The competition was a little different because he did it in the Mountain West Conference. But I just want to point out, Quinyon Mitchell and Sauce Gardner came from that conference, and they both run Defensive Rookie of the Year. So it's the possibility and the capability to transform. I'm going to transition that to the NFL and translate. I'm sorry, that's the word I'm looking for, to the NFL. It's there. We have examples of it. So that Chris Johnson, Lewis, Proctor, a lot the other guy you were saying more, these guys are all versatile. And I see the vision. Now, Lou, this is the part that I want to ask you. I don't know if I asked you before, but I'm going to ask you here. Remember coming into this season, we didn't have that many people on the roster. We needed a bunch of positions filled.
Mm-hmm.
Whole lot of position filled. And we know we're going to be bargaining shopping in the free agency. For me, I looked at it and I said, I understand. Let me take my feelings out, my personal feelings about the guy that I want. And I understand. Because Sully said something in his interview that he said on the past interviews too, on his exit interview from the draft about, hey man, we need people to play multiple positions, because if we get injured, you don't want such a huge drop-off for the guy that can play in your position. So, for instance, if one of our linebackers get injured, let's say Jordan Brooks or Tyrell Dawson, listen, that guy that you got playing nickel, he still he can just step right in as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And just get more reps. And I think, to me, that was a great, I'm not going to say genius mindset, but that was a great mindset coming in, because it's like we have to get through the season regardless, and we also have to be competitive. What do you think about what he said about, this versatility and why they value and focus on versatility and prioritize it? That's what I'm looking for. Prioritize versatility in this draft. What do you think about that approach?
You just answered your own question, Tone. I will never take that away from Sully. The way he explains the game to, I don't want to say casuals or I'll say common folk, like the people like us, the fans. He explains it very well. For the way you just illustrated. Again, Cal Lewis is the perfect example. He explained the big nickel role, right? That's virtually linebacker safety, because it's in the box, right? That's basically what he's saying. Big nickel, you're in the box, you're playing, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, cool. But from a linebacker to a safety, and then to your point, Dotson goes down, hell, Rodriguez steps in. Brooks goes down, or like I said, Jacob Rodriguez or Jordan Lewis, they could fit right in. You got a bunch of guys that can do interchangeable things, and especially, I think the best point you made, Tone, was in this season, with the restrictions, with the money, you can't, and you heard what he said, Tone. He said he and the organization know from where they are now, right? They know they weren't going to be able to, it's not a day one fix, right? So again, whether I like the draft or not, to the point, he went and got a bunch of versatile guys that are interchangeable in multiple positions. And to me, if you're asking the question, that was a smart move in that respect, because again, if you're not able to go out and spend the big money in free agency, or even hell, any money in free agency, why not go get guys that can do 2 or 3 jobs. Now, to your point, if you're going to preach versatility, it has to show. It can't just be, well, I got a versatile guy just so I can stick him out there, but when he goes out there, he's trash. It can't be that. But again, from that standpoint and that standpoint alone, I think Sully did have the right mindset coming into that draft, because you did get a bunch of guys that could do multiple things. So I think from the mindset and the way he was looking at it, especially year one, I think the philosophy he used was the correct one.
That is a fact. Now, you remember when I told you about the regime and when we was all going back and forth and who did this and why they got fired and why this player didn't do good? I came down and tell her, I'm like, listen, yeah, I thought Mike McDaniel should have been fired. Yeah, I thought Chris Greer should have been fired. But I also said, we're going to call a spade a spade. Those players failed them. Take it however you want. Those players failed them. The reason that Chris Greer looked to be like he was trash is because when he brought the Channing Tinders and the Cam Smiths in the world, they failed. They looked like complete trash. You paid to them, they failed. So you make them look bad. Because if all of them play very, very good and up to par, we're praising Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel. Same thing goes to these players. All that versatility is cool. They have to show that they're versatile and be good at it. They have to. Because that's the only reason you're going to justify why they're picking these guys where they at and saying, I understand that. Thank you. Now, I want to, this comment, it say, love the show. Appreciate you, my brother, Charlie O'Donnell. Look, I don't like the pick. However, though, I'm rooting for the young man to be a great player for us. I love that statement right there. I don't like the pick. He's a Dolphin now. I'm rooting for the young man to be a great player for us. I hate when fans don't like a pick and hate/hope that person fails. That has to be one of the best sentences and statements that I've heard someone say, because we say that over here all the time. All the time. Y'all call my brother, well, G called me one, but y'all call my brother a flip-flopper all the time, because when Tua plays well, he's out here giving him praise. I'm sorry, but aren't you supposed to root for the players on your team? Just because we can point out their flaws and we're not going to act like even when they're playing bad, we have to say nothing but good stuff about them, doesn't mean that we aren't rooting for them to be good. We're just not going to lie about them playing good when we are here watching the same games and they aren't playing good. So I had to bring that comment up because I really appreciate the honesty and do what I say. That's what we want to build our channel on fans that actually wants the truth. Actually
1,000%.
People going to tell you and be honest about what we're seeing, but it's from the mindset of, I want what's best for the team. Because we're up here saying we wasn't a fan of the Proctor pick. But I'll be damned if I don't want him to be the best. Guess what I started doing? Okay, let's pivot. I think he'll be great right next to Proctor Paul. I'm trying to see how he can help this team out. Not, I can't wait till they put him at right tackle and fail so I could prove to all y'all, I told y'all he wasn't good. That's what y'all want us to say. That's not what we're going to do, though. I don't want to do that. We aren't going to do that. I'm sorry. We're not going to come out and say, well, we told you he wasn't good, so we can't wait till he failed. Hey, Lou, you remember when earlier today and even on the last episode, we was going at it about, you get what I'm saying, Cass Merrick. Yeah, right? Cass Merrick.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? Even though I didn't I said, I can't wait till he play good to prove everybody wrong. I didn't say I can't wait till he play bad.
That's a fact.
Even though we were going crazy about why we thought it was a reach. I went and watched him, blocking. I was like, okay, I see the vision there. Don't mean I would have picked him there, but I see the vision. But I can't wait for him to go out there and prove everyone wrong. Because I'm a fan of this team. And for everyone that does this type of thing, that, oh man, there's another take. There's another guy that I thought wasn't good that they picked. I can't wait till he turned out to not be as good as I think he is. So I could tell you, I told you so. I have a question for all the people that have that mindset. How is that helping the Miami Dolphins? How is that helping you as a fan watching your team succeed, or at least want to watch your team succeed? It don't. I won't question your fandom, but you can fan however you want. But I'm just saying, from my mindset, I'm rooting for everything to work out. For everything, even the ones I disagree with. Listen, I'm watching film on Caleb Douglas more than I watch on anyone else to see. Like I seen the workout video they did today. I'm like, well, I hope that translates to the field. Because I can't justify that pick. I won't justify that pick. But I wouldn't like nothing more than to come here and say, hey, Lou, Sully got over on us, bro.
Yeah, I want to come on the show and say I was wrong about Caleb Douglas.
Shout out to Sully for proving us wrong, because what he saw in Douglas, we didn't see it. That's why you get paid the big bucks, my brother. That's what we want to come over here and say. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up. Last but not least, shout out to every last one of y'all. You get me?
Hey, Tone, I was going to say real quick, because you brought up Kaczmarek. I was going to say, man, y'all convinced me. That man is so good at blocking, he don't even care about blocking his own team. Hey, Tone. Hey, man, I'm sold. I'm sold. That man said he don't care who. He just want to hit somebody. I said, yeah, I like it. Hey, I'm good with it.
If you know, you know. I'm sorry, Lou found the video of Kaczmarek pulling from one side to the other, and he was going to block, and he wiped his own player completely out. And it looked like the guy was kind of injured because he was slow getting up. And that was kind of, listen, the dog-like mentality, but God, dog, that's a bad look, at least. But yeah, Lou, I wanted to say, Sully, and this is about Sully, people. This is why I keep bringing up, his interview, because before I say this, I want to let y'all know because we're leading up to training camp, mini camps and rookie mini camp, training camp. We are going to be diving in position by position. What are our expectations based on the guys that we brought in? And that, now, if y'all been to the show, y'all do know in training camp, right in the middle or towards the end of training camp, we do our own 50-man roster who we think will make the team. So if you're over here, you've been rocking with us for a while, you will understand we do our own version of things because we want to give y'all our authentic takes and what we see. We're not afraid to be proven wrong or, to say, okay, we missed here and there. So we give based on, because y'all know I go to training camp, majority of all of them. And based on what we see out there, we say, hey, listen, who do we think are going to make the 50-man rosters? And those are the people that we deserve. So we're going to make that up. So just a reminder to y'all, the type of content that's coming y'all way. So, but we are going to be leading it up into mini camps and training camp, break it down. Now that we have, for the most part, I think all the people in the building that's going to be in training camp, position by position, what are we expecting? Who are we looking forward to watching? Who we think could be probably the favorite? Who probably is just a camp body, things of that nature. So look forward to that type of content coming in the near future. Now, with all that being said, hit the like button. It's still 27 of y'all in the building. Hit the subscribe button. Help the channel grow. Lou, he said something toward the end of that interview about the things that, we've been talking about, which is, I know. And shout out to Sully saying, I hear y'all talking. I don't know if he talk about the fan base or he talk about the media, but I'm quite sure he's seeing these Miami Dolphins already the favorite to get the number 1 overall pick for 2027. Quite sure he sees that. That's why he addressed it today. He said, I know they expect us to come in here and do nothing, but that's not the mindset we have. We have everyone coming in here playing and working hard for this season and out ready to go out there and compete. What you think about that?
Well, I got to give you credit. I thought that they were going to take this year and just not try to compete. And you, Tone, have been consistent since day one saying you didn't think they were going to have that mindset. And yeah, Sully basically said, fuck what everybody else talking about. We trying to win. Now, he can't come out here and guarantee they're going to win. But he did say the guys that they brought in, they all coming in with with that work mentality. They're coming in to prove a point. Remember, it was a couple of weeks ago when he spoke. He said he kind of liked bringing in the guys, some of the veterans, and even some of the guys they brought in on 1-year deals because it makes them want to work harder. It makes them want to earn that next contract. So again, I think that's bulletin board material, not only for the front office, the organization in general, just the players in that building. Listen, across the league, a lot of people think this team is going to be god awful. If I'm a player in that building, Tone, if I'm a front office member, if I'm a scout, whoever it is, I want to prove the league wrong. I'm the type of person that's who I am. If you tell me I can't do something, I want to come out here and show you I can do it. Right. And I'm the kind of person that's going to, once I do it, I'm going to let you know that, yeah, it was me. I did it. So again, I think they're going to try to win. Now, Tone, I'd be foolish if I came out here and I thought they can accomplish that because I don't. Right. And I got to stand on that until I see, in training camp or maybe, evaluations can always change. But from their standpoint, Tone, no, they're not trying to get the #1 overall pick. They're not trying to lose. They're trying to compete. And again, for me as a fan, Tone, I love that mindset. That's what I want to hear. I want you to have that mindset of coming to work every day and trying to win. So again, I can't shit on Sully or the team for that matter for having that mindset.
That's a fact. And you know what I do, Lou? I use that bulletin board material.
1,000%.
I'll hang up Miami Dolphins early favorite to have the #1 overall pick. And I want my players to see this. I'll put it somewhere right in where they see this every time they come into this building. This is what the everyone else on the outside think of you guys. Are you going to prove them wrong or not? They don't think you guys are capable. It's up to you. You got to get them players with that mindset to say, oh, I'm here to prove everyone wrong. Yeah, we coming to ball and bully people and to play, and we coming to compete at a high level. And I love him going with that mindset. Now, I am going to pay attention when Hafley go out there and when he start practicing to seeing if he holding that standard upholding that standard though. I am. If it's going to be emphasis on running drills over again, making sure it's perfect, and not just going through the motion. This is the first training camp that for the public to see under Hafley. So I don't even know how long they're going to be. Mike had you in a hour 30, hour 45 minutes, 2 hours the max, and you done. Practice is done. You know what also I'm be paying attention to? Who's perfecting the craft? Are people staying over after training camp and after practice, still trying to perfect their craft? People that are self-motivated and take this serious. Because you don't need coach to tell you to perfect your craft. Practice make perfect. Perfect practice make perfect. So I would like to see that. And I would like to see how Hafley handle things now. We've been seeing Sully do his thing. Hey, Sully, your part is done. I think you said that great at the beginning. Hey, man, at some point, I just want to see Hafley coach the team now. Your part of this, as far as being in the public, is done, Sully. Go take a seat. Do like Lou say. You in a suit and tie, my brother. If you want to be on the sideline, cool. But it's Hafley time now. We trying to see what your guy that you brought in. We trying to see all that stuff you told us about him. I'm ready now. Players are in the building. Numbers are starting to get handed out. Dates have been set. It's time. I think mini camp start. What day? I forgot. I gave it the May 8th and 9th, right? Next week, Friday and Saturday, the first mini camp. We ready to see Jeff Hafley's point of view now. Let's see how you coach this. Let's see if you demand your respect and you hold those players accountable. You said, "Oh, it's not gonna be easy." And when I see you ready to quit, remember what he said this, Lou? I'm gonna push you to see if you really meant that, or to see if you was lying to me about being great and wanting to get better. Oh, I'm going to see. I'm going to see if you lied to us, my brother, about actually implementing that. But I do have, hopes of this being a better season than everyone initially think. I do like the fact that they're coming out there to compete, and I can't wait to see how they perform against each other. I can't wait to see that training camp. I mean, that preseason schedule to see who we're doing our joint practices against. That's when we're gonna get the real measuring stick.
Mm-hmm.
To see from that standpoint. But again, Sully, listen, you had the roller coaster. Over here, honesty is the best policy. That's what we preach. That's what we stand on, and we're gonna always stand on that. Listen, if it's your first time over here, subscribe, hit the like button, help share the content. But Lou, my good brother, anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, I'm good, Tom.
Well, listen, appreciate y'all for all y'all that saying, the new intro is fire. Appreciate y'all. We are actually working on is the countdown. That's not our intro. We are working on an actual intro. It's way difficult than we are. Well, listen, over here, we do everything on our own. You don't hire outside people. I mean, it would be nice to do it, but we do everything on our own. But as you can see, what I'm saying, we do this for y'all. The optics, as you can see from the beginning of this channel to where we are now, 2 years in, the optics have changed. You know what I'm saying? We got better visuals for y'all. You finally got us a nice countdown intro coming soon. But we do this for y'all. I want to appreciate and say thank you to all of the people in the chat. I see y'all. We love y'all. Best chat on YouTube. Lou, get us up out of
here. This has been the Wednesday episode of the Bliss Pickup. If I'm a little bit hot right now, it's 3-2 Canadians, Tone. Yeah. So again, this has been the Wednesday episode of the Bliss Pickup, man. If you enjoy this content, come through, like and subscribe. Tony just told you, tell a friend to tell a friend. Road to 900, road to 1,000, and road to many more years of success is upon us. I'll end the show not banging it tonight because, again, we're down 3-2. Tone, I just want everybody to know that has reached out to me DM-wise and, trolling me. I'm just here to tell you right now.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
Leave me alone. The game ain't over. We'll see y'all Friday, man, for the next episode, man. Salute. We out.
Peace.